Good afternoon. I'm Mark Rosenbaum. I'm Chief Counsel with the ACLU. Thank you. Before I turn to Bert, I also want to add thanks to Congressman Waxman. Congressman Waxman, for all these years and more recently, has been a real partner with the ACLU in the fight on behalf of homeless veterans, both up front and behind the scenes. And Congressman Waxman, we're going to miss you. You have been a representative not just of one district, but of all of us. Thank you very much. Ashley Flores, 16 years old at the time, and an A student, was one of the 55 students who were rounded up and herded into classrooms where Glendale and school police were waiting for them. Ashley and her classmates were given one set of instructions: sit down and shut up. They were forced to pose for mock mugshots. They were told that their personal information about them would be maintained in police files, in a gang database forever. They were held in these classrooms through their 5th period. I was shocked and I was scared when I saw the police. I had never been in trouble, Ashley said. And in fact, the police had no evidence, no probable cause, no reasonable suspicion that any of the students had done anything wrong, let alone anything criminal. What these students had in common was that they were all Latino. No student who was not Latino was rounded up or even questioned. Some of them were sitting with other students from other races and ethnicities, and they were selectively picked and moved into these classrooms. There were 4 governmental agencies who were involved in this racial profiling operation: the Glendale Police Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Los Angeles County Probation Department, and Hoover High School in Glendale. Bert Voorhees, from the great civil rights firm of Traber and Voorhees, and I just want to take a moment. So many great law firms, corporate law firms, business law firms in this room today. So many great lawyers from great public interest offices in this room today. And we owe gratitude to all of them. But sometimes I think what is overlooked are the special boutique civil rights offices that scrape by, that are out there every day in the trenches doing this work. And Traber and Voorhees is one of the proudest with one of the most extraordinary records. Bert Voorhees headed up the legal team that brought suit and that skillfully negotiated a settlement with all 4 governmental entities. And my understanding is that what some of the lawyers for the other entities said was, just settle the case so we don't have to deal with that Voorhees. That settlement brought about policy changes after each entity had initially said that they had done nothing wrong, had refused to dispose of the information collected. These entities also collectively paid over $100,000 as one measure of the evil of racial profiling. A phrase that has unfortunately made it into the American lexicon as a function of either wishful thinking or perhaps deliberate indifference is a post-racial society. A post-racial society. Well, whatever that means, we're not there yet. And pretending that we are only moves us further from the day we one day will be. When we do get there, It will be because of courageous young people like Ashley Flores and because of their champions, advocates like Bert Voorhees. Bert, I'm proud to present you the ACLU Racial Justice Award.
Okay, so Mark kind of already said it all. You know, I've never figured out what the stopwatch on these iPhones is all about. I've never figured out a good use for it. But when they told me I had 120 seconds, I've had a revelation about how to use it, so I'm going to start it now. I want to begin by saying how incredibly humbled I am that an organization whose mission and achievements are as historically important as the ACLU has chosen to honor me and my firm today. I'm equally honored to be mentioned along so many amazing individuals, and you've heard from most of them already, as well as the fantastic Orange is the New Black, which I'm happy to say my wife and I are now in the middle of binge watching. In truth, though, in honoring me, the ACLU is really honoring many, many other people. For example, this honor really belongs to all of the many clients whose stories we've been privileged to assist in telling through the years, including LAPD Sergeant Mitchell Grobson, who's sitting over there at 18. As well as the brave students and parents at Hoover High, who stood up, as you just heard, to the Glendale School District, the County of LA, the Glendale Cops, and the LAPD. Just as importantly, this award honors the work of all the committed and inspiring attorneys at Traber and Voorhees. My partners Teresa Traber and Lauren Tukalski, and our associates Becky Peterson-Fisher and Marisa Hernandez-Stern, as well as all of those who work alongside us in our office, our paralegals here today, Carolyn Spencer, Jade Seeley, and Julian Valenzuela, and many former associates and summer clerks, including, this summer, my daughter Audrey, sitting at table 16, who has just finished her freshman year in USA's BFA acting program. So if there are any casting directors out there, she would still love to have a summer internship and work for you rather than work for me. If you're interested, see me or Audrey or both afterwards. Finally, but most importantly, the real focus today should be on the ACLU itself. Almost none of these cases that you've heard about, virtually none of these people's victories could have happened without the ACLU. At Traber and Voorhees, as you've just heard, like the ACLU, we do these kinds of public interest cases day in and day out. But I can tell you it makes an immense difference when you're trying to settle or litigate a case such as this one. When you are trying to bring about lasting change, it makes a huge difference to walk into the room with the ACLU at your back and beside you, as Peter Biebring and David Sapp, the ACLU attorneys who worked with us, were in this case. And that is why, now it's time to think about those little cards on your table, and that is why when the ACLU asks you to give your time, your effort, your support, you should do it. Whether it's today or next week or next year, you should say yes when the ACLU asks. Just say yes. Thanks.